So here you see I'm just placing some of the other hardscape elements into the dirt area. It's pretty simple, you know, I dig out part of the dirt and I set it in and see if that's where I want it. And here's another piece. I decided it was too big, so broke it in half. It's pretty easy to do with this cork bark. And then, you know, just found a spot that I liked and kind of made a little cave with it. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I spread some leaf litter in there. I planted one plant just to keep it alive because I bought it a little prematurely. Now, that was the filter pad that you just saw, and this is where the filter pad's going. If you remember in the first video where we cut our hole, that's that hole where the filter pad will sit. Now we're dry fitting here to see where the rest of our hardscape elements will go to kind of give a canopy in this enclosure. And you can see I am testing to make sure that I can still access my filter. Now I just used a Sharpie to mark my locations. This is my fiance. She wanted to help out a little bit, so she was test fitting some pieces and we were talking about it. Now I forget exactly which product that is, but it's called a mushroom ledge. I forget who makes it. Might be Zoomed or Exoterra. But it comes with a little bit of silicone and you just press it into place. Now since I couldn't do this tank lying down on its side, I had to do it this way. You can see I have tape set up everywhere. Now I use this tape to hold it, all my fixtures in place to let them dry. You have to get kind of creative with how you do it. So you can see I made little hammock slings for this piece. It got pretty intricate and trying to get it in just the right place and making sure everything holds while it's curing. And again, the silicone is the same silicone that we've been using the whole time, so 24 hours to cure. And I believe I have to do a little bit of filing or breaking off some chunks so that this pieces sit pretty flush. And here it is all set up. You can see I have things taped, hammocks. I'm using an old heat mat box to hold up that one piece. The tape wasn't doing it, but that's the best we could do. This is some brown acrylic paint that my fiance uses to paint. It's just standard acrylic paint, and I chose brown because it kind of matches the colors of the tank, at least the base parts of the color, or the base colors of the tank. And I wanted to hide any silicone areas, any areas where you could see the silicone. And here, it's one of those areas, but it happened to be on the inside of the tank because I couldn't get, it had cured too quickly, so I didn't get to press any dirt into it. All the dirt had just fallen off. So I decided to come back with that same brown acrylic paint and a smaller paintbrush and to just, you know, cover it up that way. And in the long scheme, or the life of this tank, people really won't notice that that's not dirt covered and instead brown paint. And again, just to this side, I didn't like the color of the yellow foam, so just brown paint. Nice and simple. Now obviously if you're recreating this exact tank, you have the filter in place here, or the waterfall in place, and so you have to set it in place to know where to paint. Alright, so we did our best to pick a Mexican species of plants. Obviously they're kind of hard to find for that specific biotope, especially since it is the cloud forest biotope. What we came up with is this. This is an orchid maxilleria. We have a type of bromeliad, a smaller one. This guys and put it in the link down below there. And then we have some vein plant, which is definitely not a Mexican species, but it's from the same type of climate. And I believe that's from Argentina. And then we got our big fir plant. And these are all kind of tests. Alright, so the way we're going to plant these is we're going to dig out little spots for them. Pretty simple, just like you'd plant any plant outside or even in a pot. So I tease the roots a little bit, and I try and get off some of the dirt. You want to make sure when picking your plants that they were either quarantined in soil that does not have a bunch of fertilizers that could be harmful to your animal, or get from a place that uses organic soil. And in a future video, I'll show you where I get my plants, Wentworth Greenhouse. Incredible store, and you'll hear me praise them when that video comes. But they use a lot of organic potting soils for it, and so that's where I get my plants. Reduces the time that it takes to plant them. And you see in that last clip there, the vein plant, I decided I wanted more than just that one, so I separated them. It's pretty easy. You just pick how many stalks you want in each one, and then you just kind of pull it apart lightly, and then shake off some of the dirt, so that it helps tease the roots and causes them to want to grow and root into the soil that you have for them. Well, just to let you guys know, we do have somebody watching. He wanted out, so I had to do as he commanded. The substrate I chose for the aquarium portion of this was Eco-Complete Planet Take substrate. I chose this because it has a fairly thick, it doesn't powderize as easily, and it's fertilized for the plants. You gotta figure out exactly how deep you want your substrate, and I like a fairly deep substrate in my tanks, so I tend to leave them kind of deep. The tool I'm using here is, I forget the exact name of it, but it basically is to move substrate around and place it where I want it. And I didn't want to see this base layer, I only wanted to see the sand, so I pushed it away from the glass. Now the sand I'm using is it's basically Home Depot sand, pool filter sand. You can see it on the bag right there. It's basically pool filter sand. It's easy to work with. It's pretty light granules, so it's not thick. I don't know, I feel like it gives a very natural look, and over time, that black underlayer substrate will come up through it. Now for the waterfall, I had to drill a hole in my PVC back fitting, and I did that so that I can fish my tube from my pump up. Now I know this isn't the best tool for the job, and I don't recommend using this tool for this job, but it's what I had on hand. And I cut out that back portion so that the tube has a little more flex space to make that right hand turn. Now you can see this rock right here. This is, I want to cover that PVC hole, and I just use silicone to do it. The reason why I wanted to cover it is because the animal that I intended to put in here could easily slip into it. You can see there's that rock. So that's all I got for you today, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.